Tell us about what this conviction actually was about for the everyday citizen.
Was Trump charged with an extramarital affair, paying hush money unlawfully to cover up that affair? No, of course not. That's not criminal. New York says he falsified business records. His then lawyer, Michael Cohen, pays $130,000 to Stormy Daniels so she won't publish her allegations about having had an affair with Trump. Trump starts reimbursing Cohen for that $130,000, pays him some money on top of that for his services. Those generate bookkeeping entries, does it monthly for the year of 2017. That's how you end up with 36 different records. That's how you get 34 counts. Now, every one of those bookkeeping entries was listed as payment for legal expenses. The claim by the state, you were actually paying Stormy Daniels money to help your campaign. So those aren't legal expenses. Those are campaign expenses. So the first claim in the case is that's a false business record. And if you don't think that's false, there's no case.
Okay, so are those the only criminal? Okay, guys, I just grabbed a video and just posted it because I'm just gonna grab a nice video and do a voice over it. So are those the only literal criminal offenses that they're talking about Trump is doing? Like, is that what they're saying? He's stealing funds. He's not killing people like Kamala said. He's not raping kids like Kamala said. That's crazy. Like, where these are the real big crime. Okay, stealing is a big issue. It's not good at all. And I mean, I doubt that he even did all this. I mean, he has so much power and so much authority. He probably doesn't even need. He has his own money. He has his own empire. Anyways, I don't know. We'll have to get into that later, and it's really none of my business. But if I was in the office, I would have to find out, I guess, but at the end of the day, the biggest crimes that I was really worried about that Trump was doing was what they were talking about, like him raping kids and molesting kids. I'm like, Trump has children of his own. And why would he? And looking at the kids that he has of his own, he looks like a great father. His children love him. His wife loves him. And then at what time does the president have to do this behavior? Trump is a pretty old man. You're not too old. Don't worry. We're all old. I'm getting older. There's nothing. You're aging gracefully. Don't worry, because it's like, just like for me in the black community, people tell me black people are so bad. Even they don't just tell me, I see it for myself, their horrible behavior. But constantly telling them they're horrible is not going to make anything any better. It's not going to help. It's going to make them feel like, yeah, they're the worst. They should be the ones that are feared, and they're going to continue to do their bad behavior. So psychologically, when you continue to tell a boy that they're bad, or a group that they're bad, they're going to get worse. Because, you think what you're seeing is bad? No, they could be worse, right? So we want to prevent that. So we want to let's look at the light of the situation, not by bandaging and covering up the truth, but just investigating to see and find out exactly what is going on. Now, what you do have to understand is in the U.S. government is that there is so much people are tied to so many different things that he could have been caught up in investigations, the P. Diddy case, because I saw him take pictures with P. Diddy, but I don't know the full truth. And I always have questions like, what took people so long to arrest P. Diddy? Why didn't they arrest him? Maybe they were gathering evidence. Finishing off what? These are all things I wonder, like, what took so long, what happened, and you know what I mean? Was it if none of it was consensual, if Justin Bieber didn't feel like it was consensual, these are all things that I'm looking at, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is a lot of stuff and a lot of information. And I'm just making sure that the country and the people around him are safe, right? I don't get the best energy from Trump, but it's an on and off energy. And all I know is that when you don't eat healthy, or maybe when you're going through a lot, or maybe when you're not doing the best thing for real, I start feeling those vibes. So I'm just a viber. I could be wrong. You get what I mean? But that's not going to make me curse Trump out, because it's almost like having a son that you can't. If you were to kill your son because your son was bad, you would go to jail, right? So what are you going to do? Are you going to take that son to court, or mental health center, the clinic, the doctor to get them some help, or are you going to put the matters into your own hands? You're going to put the matters into the government's hands. You're going to do everything that you can to help your son, right? You're going to take them to the doctor, see if they can get evaluated. If they're a murderer, they're going to go to jail, and the government will deal with that. But when you put matters into your own hands, it is not safe. Same thing with Trump. He's like a son you never had. You think he's bad, but you can't even prove any of his behavior that you're saying is bad. Where is your evidence, right? If there is no evidence of it, there is nothing. You can't grab a man and say, we're going to arrest you if there's no evidence. So maybe they burned up the evidence. Still, this is a court of law. You can't guess that someone did the wrong thing. All you can do is pray that someone did the right thing. And all you have to do is just basically give them the benefit of the doubt. All I know is that Beyonce is busy dancing on stage and making it all about her, right? But do you see what I'm doing? Going around the city, checking the government, seeing how they're working, what they're doing to make a difference. What they're doing even legal? Right? Absolutely. This is legal. This is fine. This is what the president Kamala should have been doing. But Kamala didn't get that chance. I don't even know where Kamala came from. I don't know how she became in office. I didn't even know she was vice president because I was busy homeless. Why was I homeless since 2010? The goal to make this country safe, the president, as well as many people that are put in positions to get people off the street, must do their part. But they can't do this without the Republicans' help. The money, the employees. This is what the government's work is, right? Getting to see what people are up to make sure that the government is safe. Doing it friendly. Not paying off celebrities more money so they can dance. That's not important. That's not important. They're dancing, but there are things that worst things that could happen that could prevent them from having those shows. A lot of people that are celebrities do pay taxes, and because they have housed me, Brilliant Corners has housed me, that's put me in a position to feel like this is my way of giving back to a country that has invested in me by investing in Brilliant Corners, by creating Brilliant Corners, by allowing Brilliant Corners to exist, by allowing Section 8 vouchers to exist. I feel like it's my part to say thank you. Not only that, but to give back to the country, give back to the people. These people pay their taxes, and I'm able to have an apartment, right? And guess what? Look, I'm a brilliant person that was sleeping around the corner, and I have a ex-best friend that was an actual doctor who I asked if I could rent out her garage for $200. She was living in a 3-bedroom house. This is a girl that I went to high school with, to Hollywood High School with, which is around the corner, since we were 16. And she couldn't even get me off the sidewalk of Hollywood Boulevard. She married a veteran, a U.S. soldier. Majority of the people that I was meeting when I was homeless were U.S. soldiers, ex-soldiers, but veterans in wheelchairs. I was like, wow, is this how they treat the soldier? Isn't the soldier the most important person besides the president? Because he's the one that's going out there to battle, to really fight the battles, to protect the president, to protect the mayor, to protect the queen, right? So why not house these people? So if all the homeless are mixed up and you can't tell who's who until you talk to them, so why not just build programs? So because what a lot of people don't know is we need to find out what's going on in the soldier's mind when they leave the what is it called? When they get kicked out of the military. That's what I was dating soldiers, people that were getting kicked out because they struggled with their mental health. I even tried to enlist. But because I was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, I didn't graduate from high school. I did not I did not qualify. I used to live in Queens at a military base. Upstairs, it was a women's shelter. They helped me. So I feel like, hey, I'm here to help you. I want to make sure you guys are living well, because these celebrities are taking everything from you. And if the soldiers are not living well, they don't have wives prepared when they leave war, when they leave battle. They served in this country for 20 years and now are veterans, but they come home to a piece of shit wife. What a joke. This is so embarrassing. This is so disgusting. I see them as important people. I sympathize with every one of those soldiers more than I sympathize with the people in the country themselves. Because look how they're disrespecting the president. He's not perfect. Do you think I'm perfect? Have you guys seen my social media? I was made that way perfectly to make people that think that they have to be perfect to be human. And these are important people like Donald Trump. The last thing we need is Donald Trump thinking it's not good enough and jumping off of a building. Then who's going to replace him? Who? Because if you can't be strong enough to boss up and claim it, because guess what? Donald Trump claimed that he was president before he even got reelected. He fought for that position. The minute he saw whatever his vision was, and I was happy even when Biden was president, I was happy that at least there was someone. I was having some really important conversations with some important people outside. When I got out there, they bought me clothes. I know how to ask. I walked around in a bathing suit in a random place downtown. Guess what? Everybody was like, okay, let's bring some clothes for her. And the homeless were like, how come they never did it for us? Because you never asked. And if you did ask, you didn't clean up after yourself. You didn't prove that they should give you these